spot. She was just like, hey,
Oh,
you
man,
just want to
awesome.
And I was like, yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
CIB. Hey, where'd you earn that CIB at?
The PX? What?
What do
It's
you
not
mean?
stolen valor. I bought it with my.
Hey guys. Alrighty. The continuing story, the tall tales of Herb Minchew. I managed to sit through the rest of the interview video. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and bring that up. And it still boggles the mind that this is on the Library of Congress because it's all bullshit. Even though I haven't got his records back yet, I'm still calling the bullshit flag on it. So after I sat and thought about it after the very first portion of it, before I even get going on it, Freedom Fighter, yeah, I'll probably get a hold of you because I'm trying to learn this Restream and it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. I'm just trying to figure it out. So I may take you up on a little bit of help. And Mrs. Metcalf, Double D, and Finkel's in the house. Great Gams, Burns, evening Burnsy. Are you a cop? You have cop hair? I have no hair. What is that? What does that even mean? Everyone knows it's Wendy. So, Freddie, welcome, guys. I appreciate everybody coming in. Like I said, we're going to go over a little bit of this guy, Herb Minchew. I managed to get through the rest of the interview without taking my own life somehow or another. It was pretty rough. And yeah, I hear you, Finkel, but this I'm not spending $34 a week on Restream or StreamYard. Library of Congress. Now this stuff is there forever, and I've sent him an email and I said, you guys really need to vet this guy because he's full of shit. His entire thing is just bullshit. But when you go down and you start looking at his service history, all right, he says that it was from 68 to 75. Herb was born May 1951. Do the math. In 1968, Herb would have been 17, not eligible to be drafted yet. You could only be drafted at the age of 18. There's no way that ever happened. Of course, service in Cambodia and Vietnam, we technically did not have people stationed in Cambodia. He says he was drafted. Numerous times he says he was drafted. So he would have been drafted in after May of 69. He keeps hanging his hat on this Hill 86 battle, which was fought by 327th Infantry out of Campbell, Screaming Eagles. And it happened in 66, not 68. Not that he ever would have been there in 68 anyway. Yeah, it's the math never adds up with these guys. It never works out. I don't think math was their strong point. One thing I am going to do, let's see here. I'm going to do the video from the YouTube channel that rebroadcasted on YouTube And some of the other stuff he talked about too. He talked about, being in a federal prison in Atlanta for black market charges from the military, and then being at Leavenworth. Now, military records like that do show up in criminal background checks. And I did get my initial background file from somebody who does this all the time. And he's got 2 criminal charges on that, both of them traffic. One was in 2005 for speeding, and the other one was in 2000 for a seatbelt violation. Those were the only 2 criminal charges that ever popped up on this guy. Yeah, Muxter, it's shocking to hear that these guys are morons. But you know what? This interviewer, I think the guy doing the interview kind of knew that most of this stuff was bullshit, but didn't want to call him out. I don't know why. Let me go to 59:53 on the video. And we'll go a little bit earlier. And let me turn the volume up a little bit so you guys can hear it. And let me know if the audio is good on the video.
73 to 80.
You were with a couple of your buddies, Harry was
Jerry, and Randy. These 4 guys I served with off and on during the Marine Corps. Called basically the same hometown.
Douglas?
Tifton, Douglas, Ambrose, little towns
In Georgia.
in Georgia, within 30 minutes of each other.
Wow. That's
We
close.
knew each other in high school.
That's close.
Yeah. Played football and baseball. You
Now-
knew your teams you played against.
Did they
So
get
he's
the same
getting
benefits?
ready
Did
to
they
talk
get
about
into a lucrative plan like
stealing
that?
money.
That's how JW started his company.
That's how who?
JW. That's how he started it.
JW?
Yeah.
I'm,
We stole $2 million, y'all.
what?
The 12 of us, the 13 of us stole $2 million from the Air America.
This guy's saying that he stole $2 million from Air America. Yeah, G2, that's plus a few. Smart ass. All right, I'm glad to hear everything's 5 by 5.
2 million.
$2 million. Yeah.
Did they miss it?
Oh yeah, they come and got it. They got it back.
By force, or you agreed to
We
be
agreed.
cooperative?
We agreed to be a cooperative.
Cash?
Cash. It was on a pallet, dude. It was on a pallet.
The cash was on pallets. I've heard of this.
Weighed out. See, we sat there and watched
To
them
buy essentially opium or other.
Yeah, we watched them weigh it out.
Stole $2 million on a pallet from Air America. Then he goes on more, and basically he says they gave it back at like 15 years later. Yeah, CIA proprietary company. Yeah, that's who he was working for, or he implies that. Like I said, it was really hard to get through this last portion of the video because he's all over the fucking place. He's all over the place. Let's see if he.
They weighed money. They didn't count it. They weighed it. Pound of 20s was $8,620. That's all I know.
$1,620 is a pound of 20s.
But that pallet was sitting there. And we were pulling guard duty, and plane wasn't going to be there for 4 more days, and we flew it out ourselves. And 15 years later, they come back and said, "Hey, we want our money."
It took them 15 years to get their money back? Really? You can't make this shit up. Well, he can, and he is, and he did. Now, I just realized that this interview is like 10 years old. but it's still up on the Library of Congress site. I have sent them a very detailed, long email about this interview. And I said, wow, you guys did a real shit job vetting this guy. Because first off, there's no way he was drafted in 1968 and was in Vietnam in 1968 for the Battle of Hill 86. When that battle took place in 66, I can't believe you guys are leaving this up. I really can't. It's just making you look like idiots. And it's going to make everyone question every other interview for the Veterans Project that you do. And I got no response. So I have dropped the SF-180 to NPRC just because I'm curious what I'm going to get back on this guy, if anything at all. I may get the WHO letter, what I call the WHO letter. They're unable to find any service for someone at all. I'm not saying that's the case with old Herb here, but yeah. It took them 15 years to realize they were missing $2 million. And then this schmucko and his buddies had that readily available to give back. Yeah, I think this is Kaiser's older brother, Dickbag. Could very well be his older brother. Let's see. What else have we got here? Um, 104. We're getting close to it, but I can't listen to the bullshit. Well, to an extent.
Regarding the money, and the money was gone, and you were gone.
Yeah.
There's a pretty obvious connection there.
We done been told
Yeah.
it'd be our last week there.
They're guarding.
Yeah, it'd be our last week. We was just waiting for a plane. And one of the planes showed up. It wasn't supposed to. So
Sure.
we flew it out.
So what'd you do? That's a lot of cash,
Yep, it took us a while to clean it.
I guess.
First thing that Teddy bought was a car wash.
A car wash.
Can't tell how much money goes through it. There was too much conflict, too much bullshit, too many people dying for no reason.
Too much
And war
bullshit's
is
coming out of
nothing
his
but
mouth.
Trying to change somebody's mind by force.
True.
And I don't see it. And most of them are religious war, and religion should be like politics.
Or oil.
Yeah. Politics and religion. Who's ever in charge got the most followers.
Right.
If you got the followers, you can lead. That's religion and politics.
Where did you live when you were over there from 73 to 80?
And
70
Saigon,
of course, was overrun.
73 to 80. This guy's saying he was staying over there from 73 to 1980. But listen,
And
Yeah.
it was moved back to the North
we had a little
Vietnamese
village.
control.
They had a little village. It was Americanized, bigger than shit. We had a bar, 2 bars. Had belly dancers, whatever,
Yeah.
topless dancers back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Hey, we had all that.
Near Saigon.
Yeah, no, Cambodia.
Oh, Cambodia. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
We called it Little Indy because that's what.
Well, that was a pretty good, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
And you could pay commercial, I guess, to come back to Georgia whenever you wanted to see your mom.
Yep. I made trips home regularly. How can I say? I sneak in because I wasn't supposed to be caught in the United States. They was a warrant still out on me.
Warrant still on you?
Yep.
So you had a passport
yeah.
that would allow you to
Okay.
get in and out.
I have 2 felonies.
he's going to say he's got 2 felonies, but the only thing that was found in his criminal record was a speeding and a seatbelt violation. I wonder which one he got the warrant on. Yeah, a little village, bigger than shit. Well, I think that village is missing its idiot because here he is.
And 19 misdemeanors.
2 felonies and 19 misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Really? 2 felonies, 19 misdemeanors, and doesn't have anything on his criminal records, at least according to my PI. It's Wally. Wally does my backgrounds for me. The only thing that was found was, again, speeding ticket, and this was all in Ohio. Speeding ticket and a seatbelt violation. So you're right. Soldiers didn't have passports back then. But he's saying that he was sneaking back and forth because of the warrants. All right?
That's all gun, drug related. That's the reason I came. Yeah. I hold a honest job for my past. Like I said,
All right, now we're going to bump up to 110. Just because there's a bunch of babbling bullshit in the middle here.
because I didn't want to give him a second chance. I ain't. That's the way it was.
Couldn't afford to.
It's like my third Purple Heart. You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Third
Walking down
Purple
AWOL
Heart.
Alley.
A1 Alley in Vietnam.
AWOL Alley. Okay, that's where you hid out when you want to go AWOL. Had all the clubs, markets, vending area. I was walking down the street, looking at for souvenirs.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the club. I had 4 days or 3 days, whatever it was that day, 72 hours I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
R&R. Walking down, felt something tug in my back pocket. Pickpocket.
Mm-hmm.
Straight razor. Cut my ass. Put 14 stitches in it. Yeah, and they gave me a Purple Heart for that. I laughed my ass off when that dude brought that thing to me. Are you kidding?
He got a Purple Heart because a pickpocket cut his ass, and he got 14 stitches. Oh my God. Yeah, he got one more than Kaiser. He got one more than Kaiser. Now he's going to talk about his spotter, that they were together throughout this entire time frame. And it's at like the 112 mark. This is, and by the way, there's nobody that got a Navy Cross by the first name of Harry, or Harold.
You got one. He's got 260 something kills.
260 some as a sniper.
Hand-to-hand combat.
260 kills, hand-to-hand combat. That's why he got his Navy Cross. Yeah, the meth isn't exactly matching. You think 260 kills, hand-to-hand combat. And I still got another 2 pages of notes that I took on this shit. I'm gonna let this play because then he's watched way too many Vietnam movies.
Hand-to-hand combat. He kept track of it.
He's the guy that shrunk a head. A real live human head. He shrunk it.
A shrunken head.
He put it on a bayonet, put it on that backpack. They called him the Ghost Maker.
They what?
Called him the Ghost Maker.
The Ghost Maker.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty ominous. That would scare a tiger or other people.
I was a Reaper. My name was a Reaper.
Reaper.
That was his
I never
name.
missed.
How many kills were you accounted for?
Between me and Harry, we have over 1,000 that we can count. We can count. They're not confirmed kills, but we know we got that many. I brought back 100 pairs of ears.
You brought back 100 pairs of ears.
100 pairs of ears. He was cutting the ears off of his kills. And between him and Harry, they had over 1,000 kills. They would have movies made about this guy if any of this was true. Yeah, he rewrote Apocalypse Now. Yep. All right, we'll continue. But
What'd you do with them?
Sold them.
What did they sell for?
Sell $2 a pair. $1 an ear.
Who'd you sell them to?
South Vietnamese Army.
South Vietnamese Army.
Yeah. They wanted them. Hey, it didn't matter. As long as I had that ear. And I had some kind of marking for, or something that said they was North Vietnamese rape. They gave us $2 a piece.
Did you always sell them in pairs or individually?
Yeah, so
Usually at pairs.
$2 for a pair of ears.
Like I said, it was a bounty. That's what it is.
It was bounty?
Bounty.
Sure.
That's what it's. South Vietnamese Army had bounties on the North Vietnamese regular.
Mm-hmm.
They said $2 a pair ears. Hey,
Colonel Kurt's
I need
like,
money.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just another service, you know. We go out of our way to collect, especially if we run into somebody that was nasty.
I suppose there were some Army regs against doing that,
Oh yeah,
which would be called mutilation or
yeah,
whatever.
it would be. We could get court-martial for it even today. If they brought it back up, probably they'd go back far enough and could court-martial us. But I don't think so.
where the fuck am I at in this video? Because this shit is just
Because even in Iraq right now,
14.
bringing back thumbs.
Thumbs. Hadn't
All right.
heard of that.
Yeah. We'll let this play. They were cutting off thumbs
Yeah.
in Iraq.
Iran, anywhere. That dude that does the beheading for ISIS,
Yes.
he has a $5 million bounty on him.
Yeah.
You
We
read
call
that in
him
the
Jihad John from England.
Yeah. He's got a $5 million bounty on him. Somebody's going to collect.
And they should. Maybe. Maybe it should be you.
You know the biggest bounty right now out is $50 million. For a dude to hack the damn banks in the United States out of Russia.
All right, now he's just babbling bullshit, more bullshit than he's already babbled. Let's get to 119. And if you just do a Google, he doesn't have a social media presence. My PI report I've got, there's several emails associated with him that I've tried to reach out saying I need to make contact with Herb, but I get no response or they bounce. Yeah, he obviously has got some type of a psychological issue. However, I think his girlfriend's there because he kept looking over. She kept me straight, blah, blah, blah. You'll see that in a bit. But so at the 119 mark, he's talking about he can't get any VA. And I'll let him explain it.
Well, now, Herb, do you think there's any way we could find a method, a procedure for you to be eligible for Veterans Administration benefits?
If we could overturn the court-martials, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think you can overturn attempted murder.
I don't know, but a lot of stuff happens in politics, as you know.
Yeah,
And it includes...
I was told this, no matter what happened, if you were a tunnel rat, they could not turn you down.
Could not
That's what I've heard. I'm not,
turn Veterans Administration benefits down for you.
yeah, they can't turn
So
you
we
down.
could look into that.
Yeah.
I could look into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only reason. Tunnel rats are post-partum depression, mostly, and they're the ones that,
PTSD.
yeah. We had the hardest job, and like I said,
Tom,
we lost 90% of the tunnel rats.
You never know. It could be.
The guys that were, after 1968, we started training in Fort Benning for tunnel rats. And like I said,
So when does the Marine Corps send guys during the Vietnam period to Fort Benning, unless they're going to jump school, to tunnel rat school? That's a school I didn't know they had that at Fort Benning. That's a new one to me. But he went to tunnel rat school at Fort Benning. All right. It's just ridiculous.
90% of us didn't make it back.
Actually trained in tunnels.
Yeah, in Fort Benning. That was after my first tour.
I wonder if those were tunnels for the basic trainees to get out off base to go to the strip clubs. Maybe they had some tunnels that were going underneath the boundaries so they could sneak away and hit the titty bars out on the main drag there and then sneak back in without getting caught by their drill sergeants. I don't know. I don't know what tunnels he's talking about at Fort Benning.
How far would a tunnel go?
I've seen them as big as that building over there.
Length of that? That's
A
about,
hospital, as big as that building, underground. Hospitals, mess halls.
Postpartum
as
depression.
big as that
Yes, I
building
think so.
Underground?
Underground, yeah.
That's about 10 stories.
Yeah.
So this wasn't just one single tunnel going from A to B. It was a whole network of.
Network, and like I told you before, the best, as far as I was concerned, the best weapon for us was a bulldozer. We'd run across them tunnels and collapse them. Then we could find out where it was going. And we used the bulldozer a lot. I did. I'd find a tunnel hole. I'd say, let's find out where
You're
that road is.
smuggling tunnels.
Bulldozer or a tank running back in two.
You guys are great.
One interesting event I'd like you to address is the situation where you may have been given a command to do something that could have been suicidal, and your
Yeah.
reaction to that.
That was my second tour.
Second tour, this is second tour.
I was in
You're an
19...
E7 then.
Listen closely.
Gunny sergeant.
Yeah, it was 1972. Okay. During the detective offensive, we were under fire for the last, I guess, few days.
During the TET. The TET took place on January 30th, 1968. And he's saying it was 1972. He doesn't. Oh my God. There you go. Wow, you found that really quick. How did you find that so quick? Google. Subterranean training ranges in the United States. Where would those have been? Fort Benning? I don't know. I don't know.
And like I said, we had an officer come in green. He was green behind the ears, as far as we was concerned.
Was he Army or Marine
He
Corps?
was a Marine.
Marine Corps?
He'd been in transport and most of his career, which was something like 20 years. But he was hunting his full bird.
So he wasn't a Mustang though?
A full bird
He's been in.
was his
He
commander.
was enlisted in OCS.
I don't know if he was enlisted. All I know is he was a transport officer, non-combat.
Okay, so he had no combat
No
duty,
combat.
nor was he scheduled to be a combat officer.
Not that I know of.
Transportation.
He was based on our base, and he was the commanding officer, and he said, go out in the dark and find Charlie. Dude, we're being under attack. We're not leaving this base Okay, we're gonna stay inside the base. This is where it's safe. We're not gonna go out there and not Charlie behind every damn tree. Because he's there. We already know he's there. Okay. We've been fighting him for the last 8 months.
Buckster, I'm guessing he's probably
You know,
Todd's
right here.
size.
And you can't tell me, do this. Well, I'll file,
This was
charges against you. Yeah.
This is at Firebase Friendly.
Firebase friendly. Like I
So you're
said,
having a discussion with him on a mission.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Firebase friendly. If you look up all of the fire bases during the Vietnam War, there was never a Firebase friendly. This is all documented. It's all history. It's very easy to figure this shit out. Pill, good to see you, buddy. It's kind of nippy up there in Vermont right now, I'm sure. Actually, it's nippy all the way down to Florida. Seen a bunch of stuff, photos on snow and stuff in Florida. So I hope everybody's staying warm. We haven't got above freezing in 4 or 5 days. It's been pretty miserable. All right. He's getting to the point where he actually, I'll let him explain it.
He was giving you a direct order, go out and fire.
Yeah, he
And
had
that was-
orders from top to tell us to go out and find this information. We was supposed to be looking for North Vietnam infantry with artillery. Okay.
Which was common.
Yeah.
It wasn't separate from usually the basic orders that you get.
No, they were
to go
just
out.
standard orders, but we had been under attack for so long. I personally knew if I walked out past that break line, we were going to be in trouble. Yeah, I wasn't going to take my guys out there. I already knew that, hey, we weren't going to make it back because it was covered out there. Like I said, North Vietnamese regulars were highly trained, highly weaponed, and supported. 12 guys didn't fight 3,000. That's the way I looked at it. He said, you're going to get me for, not following orders. Disobeying the direct order. I said, hey, go for it. Send me home. I'll have you court-martialed. Send me home. Well, it doesn't matter. You're going anyway. No, I'm not. Bang. Shot him in the foot. Send him home. Called a medic.
Or what? You
Just
He shot this officer in the foot to send him home. And then he goes on about two years later, he's going to talk about it. 2 years later, in 1974, he got notified he was being court-martialed for shooting that officer. It gets better. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Only because I'm trying not to hang myself at the moment. Talks about fragging
so
officers.
behind back of it, take a concussion grenade, roll it up under the damn thing, and let it blow. Hey, it was never quiet. I lived in a ammo dump bunker that had a submarine door on it, and that's the only time we got quietness.
Yeah, because they shipped submarine doors to Vietnam to use them on
Because
bunkers.
it was 10 feet underground,
sure.
and we didn't hear nothing. That was the only time it was quiet for us. For me. And hell, half the time I walked around with a joint and a damn fifth of liquor in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
There, hey, like I
And
said, what you gonna do?
everyone
Send me home? Go for it.
Everybody else did also.
Yeah. There was a lot of pot smoking. There was a lot of pot smoking.
Hot smoke, why
Yeah.
sure.
Huh? Drinking and pot smoking.
During that 2 years that you were waiting for this court-martial, were you apprehensive about getting court-martialed?
Didn't know it.
You didn't know it.
Just know he sent him home. Yeah, we'd roll grenades under the guys, man. We'd catch him in the head and roll a grenade. It's like a porta-john. okay, but bigger and made out of metal, right? So you go out behind back of it, take a concussion grenade, roll it up under the damn thing, and let it blow.
Concussion grenade. I don't think the U.S. military's ever used a concussion grenade. Germans did, those potato mashers. I think all of the hand grenades that I've ever heard of have been fragmentation type hand grenades. Maybe somebody can Google that real quick, but he's talking about throwing a concussion grenade under somebody's porta-john while they were in it.
With someone in it.
So with someone in it, usually an officer that pissed you off. You
And
send
of
him
course,
home.
that would kill them. Didn't kill them.
You had a damn 40-gallon
Or just
full of
warned
water down here under the bottom of it. It was just a concussion. It wasn't.
That wasn't water.
All we wanted to do was scare the hell out of him, or do enough damage to send his ass, to Saigon or Tokyo. We didn't need officers in there that told us, get your ass killed. We didn't need that.
No.
The 90-day wonders was always coming in. They was green behind the ears. And after my first tour, I told them, hey, y'all, you can't tell me what to do.
This was all force reconnaissance, wasn't it?
We reconned. We didn't listen to orders. We didn't take orders either. That's the reason we like JW. Boys, just keep your ass clean, keep your nose out of trouble, and do your job. That's his motto.
What was your notice when you were going to?
So yeah, Burnsy's dad was in Vietnam. He's got a bunch of pictures. His dad was on a fire base. You can't find the submarine door? Come on now. According to Google, concussion grenades include the Mach 3, Mach 3A1, Mach 3A2, and the M111. I never even knew we had them because I was never issued any. Everything I always had was frag. I did learn that. Yeah, like I said, I think he's watched every freaking Vietnam movie that's ever been. Where are we at here? We're at 129. He's getting ready to talk about getting transferred to D.C. for his court-martial for treason.
You were notified you had to be
24 hours.
court-martialed.
We wait 12 hours before we left out for an intelligence. We have a conference on what's coming, who's, we debrief, military debrief for us, and then we go find what they wanted.
And somebody told you you're going to be court-martialed.
When that happened, they walked in and told me, I said, I was headed home, and they told me no. I was headed home. I was getting on a plane.
You were headed home.
I was headed home. And they said, you're going to be transferred from Camp Pendleton to Washington, D.C. I said, why? The only thing I could think of was the military guard there.
Yeah.
And I got told I was going to be court-martialed. And from there, flew there, stayed there 2 weeks, and they
Where?
transferred.
Staying in D.C.?
D.C., in the motel.
The hotel?
Mm-hmm. And had 2 SPs with me. There was 7 of us that were going to get court-martialed for the same reasons.
Oh, 7 at the same time.
For different reasons,
7 different reasons.
Yeah. Mine was treason, and another guy was treason.
Treason?
That's what they had me down for to start with, because I shot an officer in a combat area.
Okay.
That's automatically
You did not
treason.
shoot-
y'all.
Listen to what he's going to say
Intent
next.
to kill,
No.
which could have been certainly mitigating.
Yeah, they took that into consideration. They took that in consideration that I didn't kill him, and it was below the waist. Anything above the waist is considered a kill shot
Oh,
in the military.
So I guess you can't shoot somebody in the upper leg and sever that femoral artery and have them bleed out and die. But everything above the waist is a kill shot, and everything below is not classified as a kill shot. I didn't know there were classifications for such things. But you know, I can't remember who it was that asked me to look into this, but somebody in my comments asked me to look into this guy. You should do a piece on Herb Minchew. And when I looked at the video, I was like, how could I not? I know it's 10 years old. I don't care. I have really tried hard to try and, he has no social media presence at all. Because I would love to contact this guy and tell him I'm doing an interview and try and get him on. Yeah, nut shot's not a kill shot. It's below the waist, so you're good to go. Oh, Jesus. It's, yeah. All right. So he was, I think he said 1976. Let's see. I'm sparing you guys an awful lot of shit that you have to listen to.
He did. He did. That's one of the reasons I didn't get, treason. He talked him down and said, the dude was just trying to, protect his platoon.
Sure.
And he said that y'all would be wrong in, doing this to
Reduce the charges, in other words.
And they gave me 28 years, and I was going to serve at least minimum 7.
7.
A third.
So when they announced you guilty, and they sentenced you at the same time?
That day.
That day.
And the next day I met the lawyer, and he told me where I was going.
Which was?
Leavenworth.
Leavenworth.
That was in 76. Took me, like I said, it took me almost 3 years to get your court-martial. Almost 3.
So you arrived at Leavenworth.
Did my time again. Knew the routine.
76. 366 days. And then the fellows with the Frank Sinatra hats and the black suits and the black ties came to talk to you, and you got out.
Yep. And worked for
Does
them.
that sound like the Dirty Dozen to anybody?
Escorted military people, escorted government people. I knew two of the guys I met were senators. I do know that because I
In
recognized
Cambodia.
Huh? In Cambodia.
Do you remember who they were?
I recognize the faces, but I can't remember names.
Were they pleasant to you?
They were nice, yeah.
Did they say why they were there?
No.
Met
just
2
everybody-
senators in Cambodia. Sure he did. 137. Like I said, I'm saving you guys a lot of bullshit. He's going to talk about some weapons and his sniper weapons here.
Sophisticated.
You got the AK, AR-15. You got a new AB M16. These are all military high-power weapons. They're short range. It's considered 300 yards is max. I keep it. But the American Western 50 caliber held 3 shots they gave us. It was good for 1.5 miles. It was accurate up for 1 mile. After 1 mile, you started losing accuracy. Well, you figure 5,000 feet. It's a good shot. And I have made them shots. I have sat on a hill and pulled the trigger. I watched the light go out. I get to see the faces. I got 63 of them.
63.
I call them my demons. I have them in my
You what, call them demons?
My demons, yeah.
And I'm just about getting ready to wrap this bullshit up.
And he's surprised. And the light goes out. It's a look that you don't forget. A lot of things remind me of it. Smells, colors.
I bet you every time he passes a farm and
Picture
smells
smells.
bullshit.
Remind me of Vietnam. There's one smell I'll never forget. That's burning flesh. I watched a monk burn himself to death. I shouted.
Self-immolation,
I shouted.
mercy.
He was just sitting there like he was numbed up, not caring, and no pain. But
So he was watching a monk burn himself, so he shot him. Yeah, that's the burning monk. That's in a lot of the old history photos for Vietnam. And then I'm just going to jump to 146.
Did it affect you, you feel?
I don't know. I take the test once a year.
Oh, wait a minute. We'll go back a little bit
That's
more than that.
J.W.'s story. He had started that company down in Tampa. He got with outlaws and started a business. We did a trucking company. Okay. And as guys got out and needed help, the story got around about him having a place to crash. He needed 2 or 3 days to crash, or needed some help, getting somewhere. If you was in Florida and you wanted to go to California, hey, we'll put you in one of the trucks and drive. If you got a load going that way, we'll give you a ride. That's what it was all about back then, just getting you home and helping you out. And that's what we do. It's like right now. We got veterans that are on the drugs. We try to get them off. I don't try, but hey, if that's your choice, that's your choice. I'm pro-choice. Very simple. Pro-choice. If that's what you want to do it for. But like I said, JW's been a great influence. Right now he's sick.
Let me just address Let's really quick. I don't know why he seems to think I've lost my honor. I bring these assholes out to the forefront so people realize that not everybody they meet who claims to be a veteran is actually a veteran, as we've found with your hero, Fraud at Wrangler, or that other sack of shit, Todd, or any of them. I have never told, I do not think my service is any better than anyone else. I don't think I'm any better than any other American. I just so happen to have served for over 30 years in the United States Army. You're a shitbag, and that's all I am going to address you with.
We think Agent Orange is showing up.
Agent Orange is
So
very real.
he says the VA sends him a letter every year
I don't know. I take the test once a year.
to go take the test
I get
once
that
a year
letter
for Agent Orange
from
to
the VA.
see if it's activated itself.
Come in. I think they're scared we'll sue something, whatever.
So they do send you a letter. They have your address,
Yeah, they send me a letter for Agent Orange. That's the only thing they do.
but they won't give you any other services, but they will give you
That.
a letter,
To
The letter
come
says-
in, have that blood test run.
have a blood test.
Yeah.
And the blood test is negative?
Also, yeah. Mine is.
So, and then it pretty much wraps up from there. And this is something that will forever be in the history books, the Library of Congress. As a video you can search for or you can watch. And all it does is it just discredits the Veterans History Project. It really does. When they get somebody like this and they post this, and it's all bullshit. I don't even need to have his records yet. I really don't, to be able to tell that all of that, I mean, all of it is horseshit. But it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, one of my subscribers recommended I do something on this guy, so I did it. There you have it. And I won't do a part 3. I might do a finale when I do get my records request back from MPRC, and we can see exactly what he did if he was ever in the military. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate everybody coming out for their lunch break and watching the live. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that other good shit. I don't care if you do or not. Again, I'm not monetized. I did away with all of that because there were too many restrictions through YouTube, and it just wasn't worth it. So with that, everybody stay warm. And, hopefully we get through this cold snap, and everybody does well with it. With that, hey,